Buonasera a tutti. Allora, come state voi? Voi come state? Bene? Male? Così così? Io sto benissimo, grazie. Questo è il video della settimana 2 del mio corso di italiano per principianti. So this is the video for, basically the summary video for the second week, settimana 2, of my Italian course for beginners. And what I'm checking here because my video had a few problems with recording this evening, so excuse me if I do this, mi scusate. So first of all, I would like to say grazie mille. Sono molto orgogliosa di voi. Very, very proud of you all. And the reason for that is that when you came to my class this week, questa settimana, you all started speaking in Italian. You introduced yourselves to the new people. We had 4 new students, so benvenuti, welcome. And yes, it was a great start for me, so I'm really pleased that you're comfortable and confident enough to start speaking in Italian, even when you only know a few words. So, bravissimi, very, very good. So let's have a little recap over what we did. So the lesson started, basically, I gave you a handout, un documento così, this one, in fact, questo. Ci sono 3 pagine, there's 3 pages, and the first exercise was basically to get you to use and respond to some questions that we'll use a lot. I asked you to choose, scegliete un nome, choose a noun del documento della prima settimana, from the document I gave you in the first week. So we had a list of nouns, things like panino, porta, documento, libro, etc. And each of you answered questions then about it. So the first thing I asked you, each of you, when you had chosen your word, is come si scrive. Okay, come si scrive? How do you write it? How is it written? How do you spell it, basically? And this was an opportunity to practice the alphabet. And I don't expect you to know all of the letters. Difficile, so it's quite difficult to remember them all, but you'll get the hang of it, and you were very, very good. So, for example, Stephen chose, I think, the word tagliatelle. So, after you'd spelled out that very long word, I think I asked you che cosa significa, or che significa. What does it mean? So, it's difficult to explain what something means when you don't really know much Italian, but we found a very useful phrase. For example, here it is, this is the phrase in the green pen. È un tipo di. Well, this is very similar in structure and actually in the way it looks. This is a cognate, for example, with the English, it looks very similar. You can probably guess what it means. It is a type of. Ad esempio, for example, la tagliatelle è un tipo di pasta. Okay, or le tagliatelle, I should say. Tagliatelle is the type of pasta. Sì. La margherita è un tipo di pizza. Okay, so margherita is a type of pizza. So as we went through these nouns and questions, basically we were doing pronunciation, had a bit of conversation about some cultural stuff. Mamo, who's the videographer, un italiano, grazie Mamo, was able to elucidate a few points, and that's pretty useful too. So after we did that, we looked at some scioglielingue, tongue twisters. Scioglielingue literally means something, a tongue melter. Sciogliere is the verb to melt. So I also sort of introduced some verbs to you because this is something that we'll need to understand. And whilst I'm on that point, remember that next week I'm going to be giving you each a folder. I don't have any here to hand to show you, but it'll be sort of a binder, and there will be a list inside the page on the left, a sinistra, giving you a definition of things like noun, verb, adjective, etc., etc. But this lesson sort of introduced some of those concepts to you. So we looked at some tongue twisters, and the first one, for example, I fiori sono fuori. Now you'll have to excuse my scribbles, but for example, just Ecco qui. Let's see if you can actually see that. Oh, it's a bit blurry, isn't it? Anyway, I fiori sono fuori. So that little tongue twister literally does mean something. It means the flowers, I fiori, sono fuori. They're outside. So we're looking at tongue twisters. The purpose is really to introduce some pronunciation. It's just a game, it's a bit of fun. But that particular one gives us sort of an opportunity to recognise plural nouns. So we've kind of established that nouns have genders in Italian. They have generally O's at the end, like documento, which tells you that that's a masculine noun. Or you might have something like donna, which means lady or woman, and that's got an A at the end, and that's a feminine noun. So besides singular nouns, there's also plural nouns, okay? So like flowers, I fiori, così, I fiori. That little I there means the, and fiori with an I at the end, or I in Italiano, tells you that that word's plural. So the word donna, la donna, the lady. If we were saying the ladies, or just ladies, we would see this, le donne. So we've got E at the end and an E at the end. Okay, so that's something that you'll see, and if you recognise that in writing or when you're listening, excellent, well done. So that's just something that's plural. So we looked at some tongue twisters. I won't go all through them now, but you've got the sheets, you can practice them if you like. Then we sort of looked at the difference between with an accent and So let me have a little look. What was that sentence we had just now? Una penna nera, black pen. È un tipo di. It is. It is a type of. Di is something you'll see a lot. It means of, or it can mean from, or it's a useful little preposition. È. Ad esempio, for example, è difficile. It's difficult. È triste. It's sad. È facile. Oh, it's easy. È buono. Oh, it's good. So you can make a sentence using that word and an adjective, like facile, difficile. So that's it is, or he is, or she is, depending on what you're talking about. Where's that sentence? Okay, so here's a sentence. I'll make a new one up. Why not? Io sono alta e felice. Io sono alta e felice. I am tall and happy. Felice. Sono alta e felice. Let's write this down. Sono alta, tall with an A at the end because I'm talking about me and I'm a lady. Sono alta e felice. Strange little sentence really, but I suppose I could describe myself that way. E here, senza accento, without the accent, simply means and, right? So they sound very similar, but they mean two different things, but they're very useful. So you'll see those popping up. Just checking the time there. Quasi 9 minuti. Almost 9 minutes. Here we go, and there's 9. Okay, 9. Good number. So then we sort of went back over some nationalities. So these are adjectives. So things like inglese, that's also the language, English. Gallese, come io, like me, Welsh, etc. Britannico, britannica, americano, americana. These are just nationalities that change. The ending changes whether it's a man you're talking about or a lady. So Donald Trump è americano. Let's think of an American actress. Oh, Italian even. Sofia Loren è italiana. Andrea Bocelli. Scusa, Andrea Bocelli, because there's an I at the end of his name, è italiano. In fact, while we're at it, we might as well look at some of the nationalities of these people. Get a good look close up. Ci sono 20 persone. There's 20 people there famous. Somewhere up here. Qui. I've got, I think I've got most of them, maybe not all of them, printed off. Allora, lui, for example, lui è irlandese. He's Irish, isn't he? Come si chiama lui? It's another question we looked at, isn't it? Come si chiama? We did a lot of this because you did a quiz in 2 teams trying to figure out what they're called. Bit of sort of general knowledge. Lui si chiama Pierce Brosnan. Who's called Pierce Brosnan? Ah! Lui è canadese. He is Canadian. So a lot of these nationalities have ese at the end, E-S-E. Irlandese, Canadese. This one doesn't though. This is one of the ones with an O and A. Italiano. Andrea Bocelli è italiano. So he is. So that little E has an accent over the E. Let's try. Ah! Lei, she, lei è francese. She is French. Come si chiama lei? What's she called? Come si chiama lei? Lei si chiama Juliette Binoche. I like her, she's an actress. Ah! Un altro, un'altra, perché una donna. Come si chiama lei? Lei si chiama Theresa May. Sì. Lei è gallese o scozzese o inglese? Inglese. Lei è inglese. So we went through, or you went through, trying to figure out what these people were called, and if you wanted to, you could tell me what their nationality is using that list of adjectives and nationalities. So this is going to be very useful because part of your homework was to think of a famous person. Una persona famosissima, a very famous person. So the purpose for that is we're going to be asking you questions to try and, well, for you to describe who you are and to try and figure out who you are. So we'll play a few little games like that because games are fun. So we'll be asking questions like lei è inglese? Sì? No? Lei è italiana? Lei è una donna? Lei è un uomo? Are you a man? Or are you a woman? Are you French? Are you Italian? Blah, 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 blah. So that's one part of your homework. So don't worry about the words for things like actress, singer, politician, writer, because we're going to be looking at those nouns that describe people's professions at the beginning of next week. However, it is worth you also trying to remember, familiarise yourself a little bit with the adjectives. So this is another part of your homework. So there's what, 1, 2, 3. First piece of homework was guardate questo video. Okay, so if you're doing that, bravissimo. You're almost there. Second part, scegliete una persona famosissima. Choose a famous person. Okay, keep it in mind. You don't need to do any like research. Just choose someone that you think everyone will know, with some interesting things to say about them. And then l'ultima cosa, the last thing for homework was a little word search, right? So guardate questo, look at that there. Qui c'è a sinistra, on the left, c'è una lista di aggettivi. There's a list of adjectives here in Italiano, right? They're in Italian. I didn't actually tell you what they meant, but I think you can probably guess. And I didn't model the pronunciation, but we'll do that next week. But you get the chance just to find them here and recognise how they're spelt, and therefore I think you'll be able to recognise how they're pronounced, okay? So, sulla pagina 1, page 1, you actually have the meanings of these adjectives, and they all should be there if I've done my little word search properly. So here we've got the English, sulla pagina 1, e sulla pagina 3 c'è la lista di aggettivi in italiano, inglese e italiano. So that should help familiarise you with those adjectives. So next lesson, what I'm hoping to do is be able to is for you to be able to ask simple questions about people and to give your opinion about them. So for example, you might choose, I don't know, Let's think of a famous person, there's so many. Okay, well here's a picture of Sophia Loren. You might choose Sophia Loren and then give your opinion about her. So, in my opinion, she is beautiful. In my opinion, she's intelligent, she's charming, etc., etc. So, have some ideas about what you think about the person that you've chosen for your homework for next week, and we'll be asking you questions about them. Okay, so let's have a little think what else we did. So there's your homework. We looked at nouns and pronouncing them and asking questions, telling each other what someone is called, he or she, lui or lei, si chiama, blah blah blah. And there was another one, so another question word which I'd like to sort of introduce and reuse every lesson. So it's dove, where. Ad esempio, dove la penna blu? Dov'è la penna blu? Dov'è? No, perché è rossa. Ah, sì. Eccola. La penna blu. So, where is the blue pen? Dov'è la penna blu? Where is the blue pen? I bet before you receive this video you're thinking, ma dov'è Charlotte? Where is she? I haven't heard from her yet and it's 3 days since the lesson. Ma dov'è? Dov'è lei? Where is she? So there's another word. And that I'll probably try and weave into a little game at some point. Maybe do like kind of hide some objects and you have to find them or explain where they are. Tell me what they are. So yes, hopefully you'll remember a few things from that lesson, and that you'll be able to do some of the homework. If you have any questions, you can just send me an email. Mandatemi un'email, una email, or you can telefonate me. Okay. You can give me a telephone, give me a call if you need to. So, we did then, I think towards the end of the lesson, start looking at some, well, one verb, un verbo, parlare, parlare. So that verb there means to speak. So, for example, let me write a little question here. Quale, this is in the lei form, right? So I'm asking you, one of you, but formally. Quale lingua? Oh, we had that word earlier. What does it mean? It meant tongue, didn't it? Lingua. But it also means language. Which tongue do you speak? Okay. Quale lingua? Lingua, just one language. Which language parla lei? Quale lingua parla lei? Okay, so that's you. Quale lingua parla lei? So, if I'm using the verb parlare, which means to speak, when I ask you what language you speak, I need to change the word parlare to agree with the person I'm addressing or speaking about. So, in the third person singular, io, tu, lui, lei, I, you, he, she. Third person singular means he or she, or because lei in Italian is the way you address someone formally, how is she, if you like, literally, we need the third person singular ending, which is an A for an ARE verb. Quale lingua parla lei? If you're answering that question, what language do you speak? You need to change the verb parlare again. The full verb, to speak, is parlare with ARE at the end. So there's 3 main types of verbs in Italian, which I told you. ARE verbs are one of them. And what you do to be able to use the present tense, first person singular form, I speak, you simply add, well, you take off ARE, which is the ending, and that leaves the stem, parla, and you add an O. This means I speak. Parlo. Io, I, parlo inglese. I speak English. Or I could say, parlo inglese e... Oh, scusa. See, that was a mistake there. Scusatemi. E italiano. Italiano. I speak English and Italian. So if I hadn't noticed that that was a mistake, and I put the little accent over it, it wouldn't really have made sense if it was written down. I speak English, it is Italian. So it needs to be that. However, when you're speaking, you don't notice the difference between e and e. So, parlo inglese e italiano. Parlo inglese, italiano e francese, ad esempio, for example. So you change the ending of the verb. And so on page 3, sulla pagina 3, you've got sort of a little example of this. Can you see there? So we've got, oh, I'm not sure if that's actually clear, but you have this sheet anyway, and I'll email you a digital copy. So we've got the I, you, he and she, which are all the singular pronouns, and then we've got the plural ones, so noi, we or us, voi, which is like you plural, and loro, which is them, so we're talking about they. So last thing I want to mention is, so at the beginning of the video I addressed you with the question, come state? How are you? Come state voi? All of you. And I explained that I would be using in my handouts, especially in the first couple of weeks to get you used to it, the voi form in my instructions. So for example, numero 9, number 9, the word search, trovate gli aggettivi, find, trovate. Okay, that's you guys, you lot. Find the words in this in this word search. At the beginning, guardate la lista di parole. Look, you guys, guardate. So you've got this ate, trovate, guardate, ascoltate. Listen, right? You guys, listen, ascoltate. There's also 2 other types of verbs. There's ARE verbs, that was the first one, like parlare or trovare, ascoltare. Then there's 2 others. I wonder if you can give me examples of them. Do you remember? After this we'll finish, we'll get to like 25 minutes. So, parlare is one ARE verb. Sulla pagina 1 c'è un esempio di un verbo ERE, so an ERE verb. This one's quite a long verb. Scegliere ends with ERE, means to choose, so that's one you'll see quite a lot. Then there was an IRE verb that finishes with IRE. In fact, I just said the verb in English then. Finire, to finish, IRE. Okay, so there's 3 types of verbs. So it may not have seemed like a lot, but we actually sort of were introduced to quite a lot of different concepts there, and they're going to be very useful in the coming weeks. So I hope you enjoy your homework, and I hope you have a lovely week, and we'll see each other la settimana prossima, okay, next week. Dunque, buona serata, grazie e arrivederci. Bye.